this is my 20th video, and I have been doing very well for myself. Pat on the back, gotten 20 videos, very good consistency on my behalf. 184 views, 4 subscribers, and some good comments, and one hater. He disliked one of my videos, my 10th video where I had a check-in, and also said I'm your first hater. Now, I think he may have been playing and joking about with it as well, so... But I was expecting a lot more hate, on my other channels. I was so cringy, so embarrassing. It's like awkward to even watch me that I thought I was like Marmite, but some people like you, some people hate you. In reality, I was probably more like mold and just disgusting everybody that came across my path. I used to get a lot more hate and dislikes. So this one, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. My goal is 100 videos with this channel, to do 100 videos, build momentum in my life, and create 100 videos. Consistency is what I am going for, because it's very easy to make 10 videos, very hard to get to 100. And that's why I'm changing the milestones. At the start, I was saying I was going to do check-ins at 25 videos, 50 videos, 75 videos, and 100 videos. But going from 25 to 50 videos seems like such a big chunk. I've just done from 10 to 20 now. It's my 20th. And I think that's a much easier bite-size milestone every 10 videos to check in. Just for me, my own mental sanity. I'm 20% of the way there, but to get to 50% from 20% is a big jump. So I'm going to go for every 10 videos, making those milestones easier. And then it just breaks it down much easier for me in my head to think about the videos, what I'm making, what I'm doing. I can get to the next 10, just to the next 10, and then this will hopefully help me achieve my goal of getting to 100 videos easier. So we're changing the milestones to make it easier for me, because why not make things easy in life? Absolutely. And so, but like good things, I'm better at doing this, talking to the camera. Absolutely have I made improvements over the last 20 videos. Now, I'm not saying I am amazing by any shot, but I'm definitely have better vibe and energy on camera. My performance is better. I'm cut less. I can do the videos now almost without any cuts. Some of them, still, I will put in cuts here if I pause for too long, or if I stumble over some very bad words. Sometimes I'll leave it in if it's just an easy thing, but otherwise I'm cutting it out. But you have very few cuts in that, and that's great, because at the start of doing this, I was cutting all the time, had way more mistakes and pauses, and so there is an improvement there, and my ability to focus and communicate and keep my thoughts. It's still hard, and still have to focus on doing it, but it's not second nature to me yet. But, improvements, and that's what we're going for here. Also, my camera settings and my workflow are better. I've now got it all set up so it all functions very easily. I was a bit clunky at the start, though. Things that were mismatched between, frame rates and all of this, and the lighting and what have you. But I also tried it without doing any bullet points. Now I've got some bullet points here. It's just my talking points. It's not scripted or anything. But I did try no bullet points, just straight off the top of my head. And I did manage to do that on a couple of videos. But what I found was I didn't really like them. I was a bit more wiggly woggly. I'm not saying I'm not wiggly woggly in these, but like very wiggly woggly. And the energy, the vibe was a bit less, because I had to focus so much on what I was saying. I hadn't had any precognition of what I'm going to talk about, and that made it much more difficult. And not to say I wouldn't want to do that again in the future. I just think right now it's better for me to have some notes for me to organize my thoughts going into a video, and then I can go through them very easily like I'm doing here. And so that was an experiment. I'll try that again probably at some point to see how much better I'm getting, particularly with like the energy. If I can maintain the energy, that was what really fell off. And also the coherent, or like how pointed the video is, how effective is my message through it. Now, I've had some good validation, 4 subscribers over 184 views. That's actually good. I like that. That's a good amount of sub to view ratio, about 2% over, just over 2%. But You know, anything over 1% is good, 2% is great. You know, less than 1%, you're probably not quite there yet in terms of creating good videos. And you being on camera is probably not good enough. Now, if you get like to the 3%, 5% even, then you're like phenomenal. That's you taking off and going viral or whatever. But, you know, 2% is a good. I'm very happy with that. Anything over 1%, very happy with. But, you know, then in terms of how many views I've got over 20 videos, that's, you know, I guess on average 10 views per video, which I would probably like to see increase. Of course, you know, you want views. I know I said at the beginning, you know, I'm not trying to get a million views. I'm not trying to go viral here. Absolutely, you know, but like to have a video have some validation in it through some viewpoints would be nice for yourself, because it gives you that, you know, motivation, that and hope that you can get some views and potentially grow this into something which is a nice motivational point source for you. And also it helps with the cringe and the embarrassment of doing this, because when you are doing it and you don't have really any views, you know, some of the videos have got like 0 views, and well, I suppose that doesn't really matter if nobody's watching, but like it really is like, if you have a validation point even to yourself and to other people, you can, you know, not just people on YouTube, but like, you know, friends and family, you can be like, oh, I have a video that has performed well enough, and I'm talking like, you know, like maybe a few thousand views or maybe 10,000. Well, that would be incredible, but, you know, not like a million views, you know, that would be nice. But I will just keep going. Again, the main thing is to get to 100 videos, even if I get 0 views on the rest of them. Still, good practice, good momentum in my life. Now, there have been similar creators of this type of content, just talking to the camera about their lives and philosophies and how they're doing and thinking, and they have gotten some views out there. So I'm somewhere along the line, they have had a video work for them in the algorithm or what have you. Now, how many thousands and thousands of other people creating videos like this haven't got views and are more like me, maybe just getting 1 or 2 views per video or 10 views per video? Probably way more, guaranteed, you know, so I know I'm not alone, but, and like, you never see those, you only see the ones that actually do get the views. So, you know, but I do think I am getting to a point where my communication and my performance on camera and even my thoughts are probably good enough to get maybe a small amount of views on one of the videos. And, you know, I would obviously like that hope help me overcome the cringiness of doing this, because it still feels very awkward. So perhaps I need to maybe play a bit more of the YouTube game, being, you know, think better about the title and the topic, not just creating what I want to, you know, I'm creating videos of what I want to do, and just whatever title seems good enough, I will put on. And, you know, I have made some thumbnails and tried to make them a bit like engaging, but, you know, really to focus on titles that have worked for other similar type of creators, you know, particularly if there's like a common type of video that works very well, and then find those types of videos and make those, and hopefully one of those would then generate some views, you know. So just play a bit more of the YouTube game would probably be good if getting goals, or if getting some views would become a priority for me, which at the start it was just to output, get going, get on camera and make some videos. Now I'm getting used to that and I'm doing it consistently. I can hopefully start to focus on the other part of it as well. So that's all I've got. This might check in for on my 20th video. Thank you for listening and wish me luck.